History, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy, ambition and sacrifice. At the heart of this grand narrative stand figures who command our attention, the leaders of war. These men, driven by a potent mix of ambition, ideology and circumstance, have shaped the destiny of nations and left an indelible mark on the human story. Their decisions, often made in the crucible of conflict, reverberate through the ages. Theirs is a legacy etched in the annals of time, a potent blend of brilliance and brutality, of vision and ruthlessness. To understand their motivations is to grasp the forces that have shaped our world, for better or for worse. From the sun-drenched battlefields of antiquity to the mechanized carnage of the 20th century, these men have navigated the chaos of war, their choices echoing through generations. Their stories are not mere historical footnotes but cautionary tales, reminders of the immense power and responsibility that come with leadership. This is their story, the story of the men at the head of history's bloodiest conflicts. Born in the shadow of Mount Olympus, Alexander the Great was destined for greatness. Schooled by Aristotle himself, the young Macedonian king inherited a powerful army and a burning ambition to surpass his father, Philip II. Driven by a thirst for conquest and fueled by the belief in his own divine right, Alexander embarked on a campaign of unprecedented scale. He swept across the ancient world, his Macedonian phalanxes crushing the Persian Empire under Darius III. Alexander's military genius was undeniable. His tactics, characterized by speed, decisiveness, and adaptability, became legendary. He embraced innovation, employing siege weaponry and cavalry charges with devastating effect. His victories at Granicus River, Issus, and Gaugamela cemented his reputation as a military prodigy. Yet Alexander's ambition knew no bounds. He pushed east, conquering Persia, Egypt, and parts of India. He founded cities in his name, spreading Greek culture and influence across his vast empire. His dream of a unified world, however, remained unfulfilled. Struck down by illness at the age of 32, Alexander's empire fragmented, leaving behind a legacy of military brilliance and unquenchable ambition. Gaius Julius Caesar, a name synonymous with ambition, power, and ultimately, betrayal. Born into a turbulent Roman Republic, Caesar rose through the ranks, his political acumen matched only by his military prowess. Motivated by a desire to restore order to a fractured republic and driven by an insatiable hunger for power, Caesar defied the Roman Senate, crossing the Rubicon River with his legions in 49 BC. This act of defiance ignited a civil war that would reshape the Roman world. Caesar's military genius was evident in his campaigns against Pompey the Great, his former ally turned rival. His victories at Pharsalus, Munda, and Thapsus showcased his strategic brilliance and his ability to inspire unwavering loyalty in his troops. Caesar's triumph, however, was short-lived. His reforms, while aimed at consolidating power and restoring stability, alienated many within the Roman elite. In 44 BC, on the Ides of March, Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators, his dreams of a Roman Empire dying with him. Yet his legacy as a brilliant general, a shrewd politician, and a tragic hero would forever shape the course of Western civilization. Section 4. Genghis Khan, the Scourge from the East. From the harsh and unforgiving steppes of Mongolia arose a figure of unparalleled military might and ambition, Genghis Khan. Born Temujin, he united the warring Mongol tribes, forging them into a formidable fighting force that would reshape the map of Asia and beyond, creating a legacy that would be remembered for centuries. Driven by a desire to avenge his father's death and fueled by a vision of a vast Mongol empire, Genghis Khan unleashed his warriors upon the world with relentless determination. His armies, renowned for their exceptional horsemanship, unparalleled archery skills, and strict discipline, swept across Central Asia, China, and Persia, leaving a trail of destruction and conquest in their wake. Genghis Khan's military tactics were a blend of sheer brutality and strategic brilliance, making his forces nearly unstoppable. He employed psychological warfare masterfully, using terror as a weapon to break the will and morale of his enemies, often leading to their swift surrender. His armies mastered the art of siege warfare, adapting Chinese gunpowder technology to devastating effect, which allowed them to conquer heavily fortified cities. By the time of his death in 1227, Genghis Khan had created the largest contiguous land empire in history, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe, an unprecedented achievement. His legacy, however, remains a subject of intense debate. Was he a ruthless conqueror who left a trail of blood, or a visionary leader who ushered in an era of Pax Mongolica, facilitating trade and cultural exchange across Eurasia, and laying the groundwork for the modern world? Section 5. Napoleon Bonaparte, the Emperor's Gamble. Napoleon Bonaparte, the artillery officer who rose to become Emperor of the French, remains an enigma, a brilliant military strategist, a shrewd administrator, and a ruthless dictator. His life and career have been the subject of countless books, films, and debates, each trying to unravel the complexities of his character and his impact on history. Born on the island of Corsica, his rise to power coincided with the chaos of the French Revolution. This period of upheaval provided the perfect backdrop for his meteoric ascent. Driven by boundless ambition and a belief in his own destiny, Napoleon seized control of France in a coup d'état in 1799. His tactical brilliance and charismatic leadership quickly won him the loyalty of the French people and the military. He promised order and stability, but his true ambition lay in expanding French power across Europe. His vision was not just of a stable France, but of a French empire that would dominate the continent. His military campaigns, characterized by speed, maneuverability, and audacious tactics, became legendary. His ability to outthink and outmaneuver his enemies on the battlefield was unparalleled. From the pyramids of Egypt to the snowy plains of Russia, Napoleon's armies marched, winning victory after victory. His campaigns stretched from the deserts of North Africa to the heart of Europe. Austerlitz, Jena, Friedland, these names became synonymous with his military genius. Each battle showcased his strategic brilliance and his ability to inspire his troops. Yet, Napoleon's ambition proved to be his undoing. His relentless pursuit of power and glory led him to overreach. His invasion of Russia in 1812, driven by hubris and a desire to crush his enemies, ended in disaster. The campaign, which he believed would cement his dominance, instead marked the beginning of his downfall. The Russian winter and the scorched earth tactics of his enemies decimated his Grande Armée. The harsh conditions and lack of supplies led to a catastrophic loss of life. Defeated and exiled, Napoleon's dreams of European domination lay in ruins. His once invincible aura was shattered, and he was forced to live out his days in isolation. His legacy, however, remains complex and contested. A military genius who revolutionized warfare, a reformer who modernized France, and a dictator whose ambitions plunged Europe into decades of conflict. His life continues to be a subject of fascination and study, a testament to his enduring impact on the world. Section 6. Abraham Lincoln, Preserving the Union. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, stands as a beacon of leadership during one of America's darkest hours. Born into humble beginnings, Lincoln rose to prominence through his eloquence, his unwavering belief in the Union, and his moral compass during a time of profound national crisis. The American Civil War, sparked by the issue of slavery and states' rights, tested Lincoln's resolve and leadership. Motivated by a deep-seated belief in the principles of equality and the preservation of the Union, Lincoln navigated the treacherous waters of war with remarkable resilience. Lincoln's leadership extended beyond the battlefield. He understood the power of words, using his speeches to rally a nation divided. The Gettysburg Address, a masterpiece of brevity and eloquence, stands as a testament to Lincoln's vision of a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Lincoln's assassination in 1865, just days after the Confederate surrender, robbed the nation of its leader at the moment of victory. His legacy, however, as the great emancipator and the savior of the Union, continues to inspire generations of Americans and people around the world. Section 7. Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor. Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor of Prussia, was a master of realpolitik, a pragmatic, unsentimental approach to politics based on power and national interest. His strategies were often ruthless, yet undeniably effective. Born into the Prussian aristocracy, Bismarck rose to prominence through his diplomatic skills, his ruthlessness, and his unwavering belief in Prussian power. His early life in the aristocracy shaped his views and his approach to governance. Motivated by a desire to unify the disparate German states under Prussian leadership, Bismarck orchestrated a series of wars that would redraw the map of Europe. His vision was clear, and his methods were meticulously planned. His wars against Denmark, Austria, and finally France showcased his strategic brilliance and his willingness to use any means necessary to achieve his goals. These conflicts were not just battles but calculated moves in his grand strategy. Bismarck understood the importance of alliances and diplomacy. He knew that military might alone was not enough to secure Prussia's dominance. He skillfully manipulated European powers, isolating his enemies and forging alliances that benefited Prussia. His diplomatic maneuvers were as crucial as his military campaigns. His victory over France in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871 paved the way for the unification of Germany under Prussian leadership. This victory was a turning point in European history. Bismarck's legacy is one of iron will, strategic cunning, and a profound impact on the course of European history. His influence extended far beyond his lifetime. He is remembered as the architect of German unification, but also as a figure whose policies contributed to the rise of militarism and nationalism that would ultimately plunge Europe into the abyss of World War I. His actions set the stage for future